Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Again, I'm profoundly honored to stand. I'm going to ask if the Speaker would allow that to join on the front seat two former 3rd ID soldiers. That's Captain Holcomb. I called him Captain. I think he was a private, but come on in the JAG Corps. And Representative Gladney, I'm not sure, but she acts like a colonel, so we'll just, I don't know what her rank was. And I'm not certain, but I'm Representative Clark, I think he served with a part of the 3rd ID. But let me say this very briefly. As General Wilson prepares to come, 3rd ID is one of the most decorated divisions in the history of these United States. It was, of course, the division that Artie Murphy was a member of, the most decorated military person in the history of these United States. The 3rd ID has served World War I, World War II, Korea, Afghanistan, and Iraq. We used to say we were deployed so much until literally many children went through about 7, 8 years where they didn't get to see their father, their mother very much for several of those years because of deployments. But probably the most profound statement that we make about Fort Stewart is there are 459 trees planted there for each warrior that gave their lives in defense of this country, and we are eternally grateful. General Jeremy Wilson comes to us today as the Deputy Commanding General for Maneuvers. It's a little mouthful, but the interesting thing about it, it is the very same position that our current Secretary of Defense, Lloyd Austin, held as a Brigadier General at Fort Stewart. And I told some folk last night, we were talking about him in the paper, and they said that he was from Alabama. For the record, Lloyd Austin is from Thomasville, Georgia, bone and bred. But we now have another general. One day we'll call a 4-star. It's written all over him. I'll get my money next week. He's doing a terrific job with the 3rd ID down in Liberty County. We have 20,000 soldiers and over 2,000 civilians attached, with an economic impact of $4.9 billion a year, and that's billion with a B, which is the largest federal impact for military in Georgia. Without any further ado, we're going to take about an hour to let this general come and say what he has to say. General Wilson, please.
Hope it's not an hour. It's about 2 minutes. Take as long as you like, sir.
Good morning, Speaker Burns, honorable representatives of the House. I'm Jeremy Wilson, and I'm a proud dog-faced soldier. I would like to start by saying how incredibly humbled and honored I am to be with all of you today. And on behalf of Major General Chris Norrie and Command Sergeant Major John Reffer, and all the dog-faced soldiers currently serving forward, thank you for all your support and this wonderful opportunity. I would also like to extend a special thanks to Representative Al Williams for all that he does for all of us, and for nominating our division, Fort Stewart and Hunter Army Airfield, for this incredible honor. 3rd Infantry Division has a storied past, which extends from the Marne River at Chateau Thierry in World War I to today, where over 4,000 dog-faced soldiers currently serve across the Eastern Front. Deployed to Europe to deter further aggression and strengthen relationships with NATO partners and allies. Through times of war, from the Marne River in France to the Thunder Run in Iraq, our communities here at home have consistently and faithfully rallied behind our soldiers. From care packages sent to troopers deployed to heartfelt homecoming celebrations, you, Georgia, have stood firmly behind us during challenging times. And for all that, we thank you. Ever since the division unfurled its colors at Fort Stewart in 1996, the people of this great state have provided our dog-faced soldiers and families a wonderful place to train, work, and raise a family. Because of that dedication to our soldiers and families, more and more of the soldiers who transition out of Fort Stewart and Hunting Army Airfield choose to stay in Georgia, roughly about 40 to 45%, which is a testament to the high quality of life and wonderful opportunities available in this great state. As many of you know, the Army has changed to outpace the rest of the world to maintain that tactical advantage against our adversaries. The 3rd Infantry Division is leading this effort, modernizing our equipment and advancing our capability and capacity, always standing by to answer the nation's call. It is with the same tenacity that we look forward to working with all of you to improve the quality of life we provide to our greatest asset, our dog-faced soldier and their families. We need you, and our families need you. There are a lot of veterans on the floor today. First, I'd like to say thank you for your service. It mattered. The impacts are immeasurable, and it has set the foundation for the rest of us to move forward. At the same time, I implore you to continue to encourage the best young men and women in your communities to serve in the Army. It's an important mission, meaningful work, and a great career. We have a responsibility to ensure the future generations carry on the Army's legacy. In closing, I'm honored to be able to join all of you today to work together to foster a community that positively impacts the lives of the soldiers, veterans, families, and all members of the coastal Georgia community. Thank you for your time. Rock of the Marne, not fancy, just tough.
Thank you, General. Appreciate you. Yeah, just for a moment. Thank you, General. Thank you, House. We've always stood behind our veterans and what we can do to make your lives better while you're actively in Georgia as a member of the military, but also when you retire. And we like it when you stay in Georgia. You're a special part of who Georgia's about, and we welcome you, and we certainly appreciate. To the other members of your team, thank you for your sacrifice. Thank you for the messages today, Chaplain. Georgia is a special place. Fort Stewart is a very special place. And I'll close with this, Representative Holcomb. Go Army!
That's all right.
There are a couple of Navy guys, well, I'll add it. Beat Navy!